It is no secret that fight scenes are hard to write, but we can break them down into two dimensions. 1. Macro, the broader structure and their place in the narrative. 2. Micro, the word-by-word and sentence-by-sentence flow of a fight scene. There is a lot of advice out there about how to manage the macro of a fight scene because similar rules apply to television and film, while extraordinarily little is dedicated to the micro. This chapter will first address the micro in detail before moving on to the macro. Long versus short sentences. The first piece of advice many writers find when looking into writing fight scenes is that you should write shorter sentences. And it is true that some authors do use shorter sentences to better reflect the quick back and forth of a fight. Author of the Jack Reacher series, Lee Child, commonly shortens his sentences to never let a moment linger. Consider the following excerpt from Without Fail. Bismarck smiled, tightened his finger. His knuckles shone white. He squeezed the trigger. There was a dull click. Reacher came out with his ceramic knife already open and brushed it sideways across the guy's forehead. Then he caught the Beretta's barrel in his left hand and jerked it up and jerked it down, full force across his knee, and shattered the guy's forearm. Pushed him away and spun round. Neagley had hardly moved, but the guy from the garage video was inert in the snow by her feet. He was bleeding from both ears. These are not even complete sentences. Tightened his finger lacks the grammatical subject he, as if complete thoughts are not possible in a tense moment like this. It creates the impression of urgency, more clearly mimicking our instinctual thought patterns in moments of tension. R.F. Kuang employs a similar technique in The Poppy War, where shorter sentences reflect the brutal and sharp movements of the martial arts.
When fantasy and science fiction writers use the term race, they usually mean species. Elves, dwarves, humans, demi-humans, dragonfolk, merfolk, treefolk, bluefolk, Louis Vuitton folk. Given their prolific role in the genres, it is worth discussing the factors you might consider when designing and writing them. This chapter will be split into 7 parts: realism, where to start, biological pressures, culture, the planet of hats, universal pressures, and the dangers of allegory. Realism. World builders often put a lot of emphasis on realism, the logical consistency of the background detail supporting the imagined world, even to the point of treating it as a virtue. And while it is an asset to any world that strives for it, it is not the only or even most important element of world building. J.R.R. Tolkien is often cited as being incredibly realistic. Elvish evolved with 6 different languages branching off from a proto-language, each with numerous regional dialects, varying pronunciation, and variations in alphabetical script, all of which sprung from the migration of different groups across Middle-earth. Essentially, the way in which Tolkien's Elvish evolved within his imagined world carefully reflected the way in which languages evolve in the real world. Yet at the same time, much of Tolkien's world-building is not founded in realism. Dwarves somehow survive on a diet of meat while living underground, not cultivating any farmland. Hobbits somehow only exist in the Shire and cannot be found anywhere else in Middle-earth, despite living there for thousands of years. The difference in height between elves, dwarves, and humans did not evolve from any environmental pressures. And the only reason elves are better at everything is that Eru and the Valar made them that way. Tolkien balances realism and fantastical elements, and this is what makes his world-building work. Realism is important because it helps the reader buy into the less realistic parts of your story, a bit like slipping a pill you need into your food. Realism is not the end goal. Immersion is.